Next I'll show you how the multiplier and phase works. First of all, with the multiplier, just by increasing here, you can see that it's spinning much quicker. This multiplier is connected with the BPM up here. So if I slow down the engine completely, you see also the scene slows down. That's running at equal BPM now. Faster, faster, faster. Back to normal. If I declick the sync and adjust the BPM here, you see it also affects the speed. So the great thing about modulation is it's completely linked with the BPM of the engine. This is fantastic for creating extra layers of synchronicity in your VJ set. I'd like to work in 120, so I'll just put it back. And I come back down to the multiply here. I'll slow it down a little bit. 4 is good. Okay, next I want to demonstrate how the phase works. So we'll just copy this layer, click the star to add a new layer, and paste it. Okay, and now we have two layers that are exactly on top of each other. I just move this more into the center of the screen, easier for you to see. Okay, so there's two layers directly on top of each other. Layer 1 and layer 2. Now, watch what happens when I move this phase wheel. Not really much. And that's because both layers are connected. They're both using modulation 1. So the changes that I make to modulation 1 affect both equally. Now look what happens when I change to modulation 2. And to do this, I click on modulator 2. I decide I want it to be the same, so I click the same modulation. I also want it on 4 times. And I need to return this to 0. And you'll see that the two modulations are in time. Next, click on the second layer. Click once to turn off the rotation, and click a second time to turn on modulation 2. Now, when I change the phase, you'll see that a little bit of phase changes the way the rotation is working, and we get this excellent looking mirror effect. I just hide the interface. I can slow it down a little bit. And this is all just happening with phase. They're both rotating. There is one other issue that you might have, and that your modulations might get out of sync. There's a little button up here under 3D Scene. If you click that, and then move off the scene, and then move back onto it, it will start the modulators at exactly the same time. One thing I noticed when I was doing this tutorial was that, let's see if I can recreate it. Okay, so these modulators now 10 and 2 are exactly the same. Sorry, 10 and 1 are exactly the same, but they're not pulsing at the same time. So if we use 10, for instance, I'll just change layer 2 here to 10. They're slightly out of time. They have both 0 phase. Ooh. They have both now 0 phase. The way to fix this, because this error or this weirdness won't save. So what I do is I click on this little button up here, make sure it's highlighted. You can see it's bright now. Now if I go back on the scene and go forward again, it's tight. They're now bang on exactly the same. You can then turn this off if you don't want to be restarting the scene every time you land on it. And that's pretty much everything with regards to modulation. You can get much more creative, of course, by applying your modulation to different fields such as scale, lights, any of your textures, and obviously the system lighting. Other than that, this is everything. Have an experiment, have fun. You can apply it to animation. So yeah, check that out if you've got some animated VTXs. I'm VJ Benski. Thanks for watching.